Hello CA final audit students. So this is RTP for May 23 attempt. As you know that we keep on issuing the discussions of RTP attempt by attempt. So ये है RTP for May 23 and we will quickly go through all the discussions in the shortest possible time and ensuring that we cover all the discussions also. Now when we talk about RTP May 23, of the first 19 pages, 18, 19 pages or so, yeah, it's all about amendments. Now amendment videos I've already issued, all right, whatever amendments they have given over here. The link to the amendment videos you will find on my YouTube, this particular video in the description itself, all right. So it's broadly about peer review, NBFC, audit committee, tax audit, all right. So whatever amendments are there, how you can access it, it's already given in the description of this video, so you can go through that. Okay, anyways, all of that has already been explained in my Telegram channel, all right, and you can also find the details in my Telegram channel. Now coming to the multiple choice questions, I mean the questions given in the RTP. The first thing is the MCQ questions that they have given over here. All right, now when we come to MCQ questions, the first thing is the case study scenario जो लोग ने print किया है. Okay, and that's a good case study. Although similar case studies there in their ICA case study MCQ book, they have changed a little bit and they have printed over here, including the amendments also. And then they have given some individual MCQs, which is also good collection of MCQs. And then they have given descriptive questions from various chapters. All right, so let us quickly finish it off. All right, so the very first thing is the MCQ case study based scenario. So as you can see, Good Deposit Limited is NBFC. All right, so they are trying to test your knowledge of NBFC over here. Okay, and listed on National Stock Exchange. Okay, listed. Fine. So जैसे ये सब आता है, audit of NBFC listed, all right. So SEBI LODR can also come into picture. Okay, and obviously now they will appoint someone as the auditor. So ABC and Company is the statutory auditor for the financial year ending 31st March 2023. Okay, and then they have given the case study. Fine. So this is the base of the case study. What you should do is whenever you are solving this case study based MCQs, I'm so sorry. Just a minute. Okay, whenever you are solving the case study based MCQs, you should always have the habit of looking at the questions first. All right, एक बार questions को देख लेना चाहिए. And okay, so there is something with respect to NBFC chapter over here. Okay, then there is something with respect to SEBI LODR topic over here. All right, then again there is something with respect to peer review, which has been an amended topic. Yeah, all right, so उसके ऊपर है कुछ. May 23 attempt onwards it has been amended. Then there is something with respect to emphasis of matter paragraph, and I think there should be one more question. All right, so then there is something with respect to CARO, company audit report. So we have something with respect to audit of NBFC, audit committee topic, peer review topic, then audit report, emphasis of matter paragraph, SA706, and then we have something on CARO. All right, so your mind is structured. Now quickly let us try to save our time by going through the questions. So we will now go to the case study based question over here. Okay, so the very first thing, Good Deposit Limited, NBFC, registered with RBI and listed on NSE, appointed ABC and Company Chartered Accountants as their statutory auditor. Mr. J, the audit partner of ABC and Company, extracted monthly net owned fund position from the books of Good Deposit Limited. ABC and Company was peer reviewed last in January 2019. All right, and its peer review certificate was valid until January 2022. Oh, ABC and Company did not apply for peer review after January 2022 till the date of acceptance of audit. Already some students would have understood if they have gone through peer review video, but I will take systematic discussion one by one. The very first question is on the net owned funds part over here. All right, so this is the monthly net owned funds position. Now when it comes to NBFC, the minimum net owned funds that they are supposed to maintain is 200 lakhs, that is 2 crore rupees. All right, now look at this over here. Fine. Oh no, here there is a problem. Then here there is a problem. This is okay, this is okay, this is okay. All right, so there are 2 months when the net owned fund position was not maintained properly. This is not good because net owned fund position should be maintained throughout. However, there is a requirement that there has to be a certificate from the statutory auditor that net owned fund was maintained as on 31st March of the financial year. So yes, it should be maintained throughout, but there is a requirement that the certificate should be obtained from the auditor as on 31st March of the financial year. All right. So look at this. Question number 1 is on that. I'm trying to save your time by doing the relevant discussions. Mr. J reported under the NBFC audit report directions, which I've discussed in my videos also. Even in fact, it is there on YouTube also. All right. That Good Deposit Limited is not eligible to hold its certificate of registration, as during the year the net owned funds went below the minimum required limit. Management of the NBFC had a different opinion that a certificate pertaining to net owned funds from the statutory is required with reference to the position of the company as at the end of the 31st March and not based upon each month's position. And management's view is correct because RBI is more concerned about the position as on year end. All right. Yes, there can be some temporary deficiencies. Yes, there can be a negative remark. All right. But when it comes to the certificate that needs to be given by the auditor, it is based upon 31st March position. So every NBFC needs to submit a certificate from its statutory auditor that it is eligible to hold certificate of registration. Such a certificate should be with reference to the position of the company as at the end of the financial year 31st March. This is the perfect option. Kindly guide Mr. J with respect to the requirement under master direction. Actually, this is the requirement which is given under RBI circular. All right. So as you can see, the first answer also over here, they have given question number 1, A, as the answer. Now we are moving ahead in our discussion. Okay. Question number 2 is with respect to some SEBI LODR over here. Mr. J was of the opinion that the composition of the company's board of directors is not in compliance with SEBI. Kindly guide management with respect to the provisions which is not complied by the management. We need to go back to the case study because ऐसा कुछ तो अभी तक case study में आया नहीं था. All right. So it's a short case study, but where they have given long questions. All right. So that's good. In a way, it saves time of the student. The board of Good Deposits Limited consisted of 9 directors, out of which 5 were non-executive, all right, including a woman director. 2 were independent directors. Okay. Out of the above, the chairperson of the board was a regular non-executive director. All right, good. Chairperson was a regular non-executive director and promoter of the company. The company was not out of the top 1000 top listed entities for the past 5 years. See, boss, if the chairperson is a regular non-executive director and is the promoter of the company, then boss, at least half of the board of directors should be of independent directors. All right. So this is discussed in great detail in my audit committee notes also. So everyone over here, Mr. J is correct. Mr. J is correct. Look at this. Where the regular non-executive chairperson is a promoter of the listed entity or is related to any promoter or person occupying management position at the level of the board of director or at one level below the board of directors. At least half of the board of directors shall consist of the independent directors, and this is perfect. All right. As you can see over here also, question 2A answer is given. So this answer is correct. All right. And now, yes, it was a confusing MCQ, yes. But then if you just see my audit committee discussion, even if you're connected with me on my Telegram channel, I have shouted at the top of my voice that ये जो board of directors का composition का है, audit committee composition है, और एक 4-5 points है जो audit committee में बहुत ज़्यादा important है. Alright, I've said this repeatedly. Right, so it's not like it was unexpected. Yes, it was a good question, but it's not like it was unexpected. Alright, because this is always one of their favorites, for asking MCQs. We move ahead. Question number 3. At the time of accepting the audit of Good Deposit Limited, the quality engagement partner objected that ABC and company does not hold a peer review certificate and hence cannot accept the statutory audit of NBFC. Mr. J was of the opinion that ABC and company were falling under level 2 category. Oh my god, this level 1, level 2, level 3 is gone now in peer review. So it's very clear that if you are listed, if you want to conduct audit of a listed entity, then in that case, obviously you need to ensure that you have a peer review certificate starting 1st April 2022 onwards itself. All right, so this is not acceptable over here. Okay, so as per the peer review mandate, practice unit is proposed to undertake statutory audit of enterprises whose equity or debt securities are listed as a prerequisite starting 1st April 22 should have a peer review certificate before accepting statutory audit assignment, because if they are not doing this, then obviously they are not following the provisions of the peer review mandate. So as you can see in question number 3, they have given B as the answer over here. All right, I'm straight away coming to those points which are relevant for your discussion. Obviously, when you're solving, it will not be this fast. You may take 1 or 2 minutes more, but then you can apply your common sense that in peer review there's once every 4 years and this and that, all of those requirements are gone, level 1, level 2. All right, so the moment you look at these options are not correct. Okay, so obviously you will come down to this option very quickly if you're aware about peer review mandate. But I'm very happy that they have questioned from the amendment in the RTP itself. That shows a little bit of proactive attitude from the ICAI. That's good. All right, question number 4. Mr. J wants to highlight the matter with respect to absence of internal audit function. All right, so there is an absence of internal audit function. Let us go to that particular paragraph. Okay, during the year, Mr. J recommended to the board and audit committee to have internal auditors. However, board citing budget issues. Oh my God, budget issues. You are a listed entity. Hello, internal auditor. Rejected the audit partner's recommendation. Board, however, assured that they would consider next year to have an internal audit department within the company. Boss, here internal audit is mandatory. They must appoint an internal auditor. And look at this. What is Mr. J going to do now over here? Mr. J wants to highlight the matter with respect to absence of internal audit function in audit report under emphasis of matter paragraph. Now for the students who have seen my videos, even if you have seen my free revision videos, you know that when it comes to emphasis of matter paragraph, can I say that boss, you can highlight only those matters which are presented in the financial statements, disclosed in the financial statements, which are correctly disclosed in the financial statements, for which you do not have a modified opinion and you feel that it is of importance for the fundamental understanding of users of financial statement. Now yes, internal auditor is absent. This is an important matter, but this is not something which is presented or disclosed in the financial statements, so obviously it cannot go into emphasis of matter paragraph. So reporting under EOM is correct. No. Reporting under EOM is incorrect. Incorrect. Correct. Alright, so I need to boil down from B and C. Emphasis of matter paragraph included in auditor's report refers to a matter other than those presented or disclosed in financial statement. No, EOM meaning is wrong over here. So obviously has to be C. Emphasis of matter paragraph included in the auditor's report refers to a matter appropriately presented or disclosed in the financial statement that in auditor's judgment is of such importance that it is fundamental to the user's understanding of the financial statement. Perfect. And hence this particular matter being reported under emphasis of matter paragraph is incorrect. Very good. All right. Question number 5. Obviously then this has to be reported in CARO 2020, but then in which clause of CARO 2020? Now I did not feel this. I don't appreciate the institute for this particular question. All right, that is my opinion, because you cannot just try and test the memory power. All right, when will this obsession of memory power get over? All right, that okay, when which clause of CARO? Nowadays in practical life people can always download CARO and see the clause, but at least knowing this, having this knowledge that it needs to be reported in CARO, that is what we expect from chartered accountants. But then it is okay whatever they have done. Kindly guide Mr. J regarding areas where he may need to report the absence of internal audit function. Now because I know it by heart, I can say it. Otherwise this purely depends upon the memory power. All right, so clause 14 under paragraph 3, where you will report about internal audit. All right, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Okay, now there are some independent MCQs and there are really good MCQs that they have given over here. Mr. D is a practicing chartered accountant from Mangalore. He has been practicing as a sole proprietor for past 2 decades. Mr. D's daughter Miss S is a newly qualified chartered accountant. Okay, D is a practicing chartered accountant. D's daughter Miss S is also newly qualified chartered accountant who cleared final exam just 3 months ago. Congratulations. Immediately after qualifying, she also wanted to set up a sole proprietary concern and practice on her own. After setting up the firm, she printed her own visiting card, which is as follows. So this is fine. When it comes to visiting cards, we think about clause 6, 7, part 1, first schedule, advertisement guidelines. All right. Okay. Proprietor. Okay. Miss S. FCA. Hello. She just cleared 3 months ago. FCA. Who can become FCA? Sir, 5 years of continuous practice in India can apply for FCA, fellow chartered accountant. all right, or you are a 5 years of continuous ACA, but you have knowledge which is equivalent to a practicing chartered accountant of 5 years, then you can apply for FCA. Otherwise you will remain ACA, that is associate chartered accountant. Now she has just cleared 3 months ago. Obviously 5 years is far from here now. So this is she should have printed AC over here, otherwise everything else is correct, let me tell you. Now when you represent yourself as FCA when you are not, all right, so you represent yourself as FCA not being FCA, then you will attract professional misconduct under clause 3, sorry, clause 1, I'm so sorry, clause 1 part 3 first schedule. क्लॉज की जगह वो पार्ट बोल दी, पार्ट की जगह क्लॉज बोल दिया. So clause 1 part 3 first schedule. All right, that is where you will be held guilty over here. Clause 1 part 3 first schedule. Okay. So genuinely speaking, there was no problem with respect to any other part of advertisement over here. But normally when people think about visiting card, they just write clause 7 part 1 first schedule and all of that. So please ensure that you are going with the right option. ये ना एक उनका technique है ये. We spend so much time behind part 1 first schedule, part 1 second schedule, all right, that we end up forgetting that there are other parts of the schedules also. And that is why in my lecture, after part 1 first schedule and part 1 second schedule is over, I take detailed discussions of all other parts of professional ethics, because there are so many other things in professional ethics, and they can set up the whole paper from there if they want to set it up. All right, just to give you a surprise, like how we have done over here, clause 1 part 3 first schedule, they have questioned after so many, I mean so many years, I would say. All right, question number 7. Messrs. Adi and Associates are statutory auditors of Prakash Limited for the financial year 22-23. While conducting audit, CS Saurabh, the engagement partner, noticed the following: payment to various government employees not supported by any document. Notices received from various regulatory authorities. Payment of various fines, penalties, heavy payments to legal counsels, unusual cash payments. My God, this is a full copy paste answer of indications of non-compliance with laws and regulations. Non-compliance with laws and regulations, one of the favorite questions of SA 250. I think it is there in every professor's revision video, chart, everywhere. All right, okay, so this will create a doubt of the non-compliance to laws by Prakash Limited, and if they would have given SA number, then this would have been SA 250. Yeah. You have been given an assignment of audit of IT department of a PSU. A checklist was handed over to you which contained many questions such as: are external data backups maintained at place outside the premises? Are separate usernames and passwords assigned to the individual users? Are periodical changes of passwords ensured? Now, ये सब ना internal control system है, these are like procedures which are set up by the management which the employee should comply with. So that is why this is compliance audit, because when we talk about unnecessary expenditure, proprietary audit. When you talk about overall, expenses, performance, everything, then it comes to comprehensive audit. When you talk about accounting part, then it comes to financial audit. All right, but over here, this is pure about compliance with internal control systems and procedures, and that is why it will form a part of compliance audit. All right, so over here, 8A. I think for a couple of questions, I have not even seen the answers, but I think you can always reconcile it on your own. Okay. Now, question number 9. Sudarshan, and this question seems to be more like an accounting question. I've just had a glance through RTP once. All right, I have not solved it in detail. I'm solving it right in front of you. But this is this, as I can see, they're trying to test accounting knowledge over here. Sudarshan and company was one of the joint auditors of Trilok Insurance Company Limited. You know that when it comes to audit of insurance, you need to appoint a joint auditor. Mr. Mukesh, one of the engagement team members of the said joint auditor, was examining the expenses included in different accounts. While verifying the expenses incurred in relation to employees, Mr. Mukesh made a list of the same as follows, which he was going to discuss with his senior. Expenses incurred in relation to employees. Payment of salaries to employees, I think this is proper employees remuneration and welfare benefit account. Reimbursement of premium in respect of employees health cover, it is employees remuneration and welfare benefit account. Training and non-training expenses incurred for employees. Training chalo theek hai, non-training expenses incurred for employees, this should not be debited over here, right? Expenses incurred towards medical treatment of employees not having health cover. Okay, chalo. Still, we take it up in employees' remuneration and welfare benefit account. All right. Yes, could be a case where the company, where the auditor takes a stand that this should not be allowed. It could be in the nature of personal expenses. Correct. But obviously, it will depend upon the contract that the company has with their employees. Incentives paid to employees of the company who have solicited insurance policies. This is also part of employees' remuneration only. Why commission account? The agent commission वो तो commission account में जाता है ना. So this is not. I mean, there are some problems in this accounting. Whether it can be said that Trilok Insurance Company Limited has properly accounted for expenses. Now all the four options are no, 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 no. Now this is what I call a quality MCQ, where you'll have to read it and then come to the right answer. Training and non-training expenses incurred for employees should be bifurcated and shown separately, and expenses towards medical treatment of employees not having health cover should be included in others account. Does not sound proper. Reimbursement of premium in respect of employees health cover should be included in others account. Nah. Expenses incurred towards medical treatment of employees not having health cover should be included in others account, and non-training expenses have to be shown separately. Non-training expenses have to be shown separately, and incentives paid to employees should be included. ये बराबर है ना? That incentives paid to employees should be in employees remuneration account, and non-training should be excluded. So they have covered our both major points. All right. That medical treatment of employees could still be there in employees remuneration welfare benefit account. We need to see more contractual details. All right, to understand it. They have gone with which option over here? Question number 9. D. But good MCQ. Question number 10. Oh, this is classic. All right. There is some lag in the screen. I think it's manageable. I'll not cut the video. All right. So question number 10. Paras Bank had an NPA account of Messrs. Superus showing recoverable amount of rupees 35 lakh. It sold NPA for rupees 37 lakh. Now, when it comes to selling of NPA, obviously there are lots of conditions which are given in Audit of Banks chapter, which is one of my favorite discussion, this purchase and sale of NPA. But one thing is very clear, that agar usme kuch surplus hota hai, all right, then you cannot credit it to P&L account. You have to keep it as a reserve, as a provision in future, to set it off for further losses on sale of NPA. All right. So please select as to which of the following option is correct. Credit the excess or not. Credit the excess of rupees 2 lakh to provision for loss on sale of NPA, because in future, if there is any loss on sale of NPA, then this 2 lakh will be used to first set it off, and then excess loss will be debited to P&L. So ये बचा के रख रहे वो लोग future के losses of sale of on sale of NPA को set off करने के लिए. Alright, this is a very specific point given as per RBI guideline, and I have said this in my discussions also. Alright, that in audit of banks, that this can be important, right? Okay, chalo. Descriptive questions. We'll go to the descriptive questions very quickly. Now in question number 1, I really like the standards questions which they have given, and some other questions also. Especially there is one controversial discussion in professional ethics that we need to do. So question number 11, which is on standards. Mangal and Company Chartered Accountants have been appointed statutory auditors of Money Limited for the financial year 21-22. The audit team has completed the audit and is in the process of preparing audit report. Management of the company has also prepared draft annual report. Now, when they talk about audit report, all right, now versus the annual report, I think उसमें कोई guess is required नहीं है. That means they are talking about SA 720. All right, if you have left this in option, then God bless you. Audit in charge was going through draft annual report and observed that the company has included an item in its annual report indicating downward trend in market prices of key commodities raw material as compared to previous year. However, the actual profit margin of the company has gone in the reverse direction. So obviously there is an inconsistency. All right, what is reported in the annual report and what is there in the financial statements. Audit manager discussed this issue with the partner of the firm, who in reply said that auditors are not covered with such disclosures made by management in its annual report, because it is the responsibility of the management. Do you think that the partner is correct? Yes, partner is correct, because in SA 720 we do compare the annual report versus the audited financial statement audit report. If there is any material inconsistency in the other information which is printed in annual report, then we will ask them to rectify it. If they are not rectifying it, and over here, because the audit report abhi tak sign nahi hua hai, all right, then in that case we can take a step of writing it in other information paragraph and highlighting it. All right, so there are lots of things that can happen over here. Discuss with reference to relevant essay with regards to auditor's duty with regards to reporting. So बहुत मजा आया मुझे that they have put up this question. I'm going fast over here because this is RTP video. Alright, I know that students tend to see this video at the end, so I want to save your time. But if you are not clear with the concept of SA 720, then if you are my student, you can check it from the videos that you have. But if your views have exhausted or something like that, then you can always go to YouTube. And for all of the students who are not my students, not enrolled with me, of course you're my student when you're looking at this. You can also go to 700 series video, which has lots of views, and you can see SA 720 discussion over there. So you will find this full discussion over there. Full discussion, you will find it over there. All right. Okay. Now, CAP is the auditor of Master Data Limited for the year 21-22. Here, I really love this question. You know, इतना basic level पे जाके question पूछना. This was awesome. CAP is the auditor of Master Data Limited. The company has requested the auditor to undertake an exercise involving verification of trade receivables for a half year ending 30th September 2021. The company wants to be satisfied that trade receivables are properly confirmed and reconciled. In this regard, CAP has to verify arithmetical accuracy of trade receivables, obtain confirmation of trade receivables, and ensure verification of proper reconciliation with the confirmation. He is in dilemma as to whether he can give a report providing assurance to the company in this respect. Guide CAP with reasoning. Assume that above exercise can be undertaken and there is no legal bar. So, you are the auditor. And the company is confused with respect to its trade receivable data. So, they wanted to sort that data. They wanted to take a particular exercise with respect to this data. They don't want you to check and comment upon, whether the presentation is true and fair and stuff. No, they just want you to see the arithmetical accuracy. It's more like a clerical work. Take confirmation and ensure that there is a reconciliation with the confirmation. That's it. Now over here, you are just agreeing to do some procedures which your client has asked you to do it. All right. This is, in my first lecture of standards, I give them a classification that auditing and assurance standards are divided into SQC, SA, SRE, SAE, SRS. Now, I have explained SRS through this example only. That standards on related services, where your client will ask you to do something, you will do that. But here we are not acting like an examiner or expressing an opinion. We are just doing a more of an accounting role over here. All right. And that is why we do not provide assurance in this activity. One of my very clear discussion in the first 25-30 minutes of standards and auditing topic itself. All right. So that is what they have discussed over here. SRS activity, standards on related services. They are in the nature of agreed upon procedures, cannot issue an assurance report while providing such kind of services. Okay. Done. Now we move back. Audit strategy, planning and programming. So there are some more questions from standards. All right. Krishna Limited is a small size 25 years old company, and they have given this big question, but this is a copy paste question from the module. So I will just straight away come to the point. SA 210, terms of engagement. What should be included in the terms of audit engagement letter? I don't think that such kind of question will be asked at final CA level, although it is one of their module question. Contents of letter of engagement here. OSAMA report, objectives, scope, auditor's responsibility, management's responsibility, AFRF, expected form and content of audit report, and the circumstances that the actual report could differ from the expected report. बहुत ही basic answer है. Alright, so I'm not expecting this in the exams, to be very frank with you. If they are asking this in exams, you and me, both of us will meet together and party on this. Party hard on this. Alright, question 13B. Surat Limited had a net worth of 2100 crore, and Ind AS are applicable to them. Obviously, yes. The company had various derivative contracts, options, forward contract, interest rate swaps, which were required to be fair valued, for which company got the fair valuation done through an external third party. The statutory auditors of the company involved an auditor's expert to audit valuation of derivatives. So I think first few lines students would have seen Ind AS, derivative, and then they see auditor's expert, then they'll be like, yes, I know this 600 series SA 620. Auditor and auditor's expert were new to each other. That is, they were working for the first time together but developed a good bonding during the audit. The auditor did not enter into any formal agreement with auditor's expert. Please advise. अभी जब मैं ऐसे 620 पढ़ाता हूँ यूजिंग द वर्क ऑफ ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट, तो उसके अंदर बहुत क्लियर डिस्कशन होता है अबाउट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद दैट एक्सपर्ट. इन दैट आई डिस्कस टू थिंग्स. What should be included in the contract with the expert, and why there is a need for a detailed contract. When you don't have any past experience, when the matter is sensitive, all right, it is complex, it is of high risk, when you need a detailed evidence, all right, when you need clarity in the scope, then in that case obviously you need a detailed agreement. Obviously you have to keep the data also of the client confidential, so you need to ensure that there is a written agreement. So need for a detailed agreement is covered over here. ऐसे 210 का तो ठीक है, and this is your main answer. All right, need for a detailed agreement over here. Now, risk assessment and internal control. During the course of audit of Treasure Limited, CA Gautam is concerned with quality and effectiveness of internal control. Towards achieving his objective, he wants to assess and evaluate the control environment. Control environment. But don't worry, the question is simple. Guide CA Gautam with well-defined set of standard operating procedures in the assessment and evaluation of control. आप जाके मेरा revision video भी देखोगे, और if you are my regular course fast track course student, in essay 315 question bank, I have explained this, the concept of SOPs and a well-defined set of SOPs. कोई भी कंपनी को स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर बनाना है, then they should be very clear about division of responsibilities, segregation of duties, then they should be very clear about job rotation in sensitive areas. All right. So I've already explained this. All right. I've given you code word also, desi job over there, and you can just go through it. Otherwise, for the students who haven't heard from me on this, right, look at this: segregation of job responsibilities, or the whole entity level risk should be managed, job rotation in sensitive areas, delegation of financial powers document, information technology. So DESI, DESI job, you can do it over here. Okay, now it's a pure by heart, you by heart it and write it, such kind of answer. All right, where the head points will matter more rather than whatever is the content you are writing. Content should be a little bit relevant, but that's okay. But the head points will matter more. All this was also there in December 21 question paper. Auditors are required to obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to audit when identifying and assessing its effectiveness and risk of material misstatement. During the audit of Acharya Limited, you observed that significant deficiency exists in internal control, and you want to ascertain the same. Elucidate various indicators of significant deficiencies which will help you in assessing the efficiency of internal control system of the organization. Essay 265. Short essay, but one of the critical essays, right? Deficiencies in internal control. If there is a significant deficiency, you will have to communicate to higher level of management and those charged with governance. Even if there is no significant deficiency, still some communication is required from your side to the management. Obviously, there are some discussions into it. Then what should be included in that communication, when that communication should be done. All right, all of that is discussed in essay 265. So essay 265 में सबसे बड़ा काम ये होता है to find out that which deficiency is significant deficiency and what are the indicators of significant deficiency. अब ये indicator word का English समझता है क्या? So when you are standing on a platform, railway platform, there is an indicator. Now I really don't know whether the train will actually come or not. 99% it will, all right. But then it may also not arrive if there is some problem, but the indicator is there. So let us say if there is a rectification entry by the management. Don't you think there is an indicator that something went wrong? Yeah. If you have found the misstatements which the entity could not identify with its system, that means there is an indicator that somewhere the system has gone wrong. Yes. So indicators of significant deficiencies. They have given lots of indicators over here. And this is one of my question also. But let me tell you, you can remember any 2 to 3 points. All right. So if the whole work culture is ineffective, all right. If the entity itself does not have a risk assessment process, okay. If the entity is not responding to a significant risk, all right. If there are misstatements which have been detected by the auditor, which were not detected earlier by the management or the employees, these are all indicators. Special aspects of auditing in automated environment. One of the most repeatedly asked question. मतलब ये I think हर एक professor ने बोला होगा कि important है. That CAAT, computer assisted audit techniques. What is the best approach to get benefit from the use of CAAT? All right. So the best approach is given in the module also in the chart form. All right. that first you should understand the entity's environment, then define that what is your purpose and how you will test a particular data. All right, then from where you will get the data, then actually extract the data, then first check whether the data is complete or not, then whatever is the condition of testing the data, that is the criteria. All right, that criteria, please apply that and check the results. So first understand, then data. Understand, define your purpose, then data. All right, and then apply criteria on the data, then validate and confirm the results. So it goes in a nicer flow, and there are such short explanations given by me in my discussion of audit in automated environment. All right, I don't think I've uploaded audit in automated environment on YouTube. कुछ तो बचा के रखना पड़ेगा ना फिर जिन्होंने कोर्स खरीदा है उनके लिए. All right, company audit chapter. Okay, Leave Private Limited is a company based out of Mumbai. The company had an authorized capital of rupees 200 lakhs. Okay. And paid up capital plus reserves of rupees 95 lakhs as of 31st March. Oh, wait. It's a private limited company. Paid up capital and reserves is 95 lakhs. During the audit for the year ended 31st March, whatever it is, the auditor of Messrs. Y&S Associates noted the following points. On 15 December, the company had taken total borrowings of 75 lakhs. Company had total borrowings of 75 lakhs. On the said date, the company received new loan of rupees 30 lakhs for a new project that was to be developed. However, the project was shelved on 17 December due to technical reasons and the whole loan was paid on the same date. 75 plus 30. 105 lakhs का लोन गया for 2 days at least. Okay. लग रहा है ना ऐसा कारो तरफ क्वेश्चन जा रहा है. Look at the last line first. कारो. All right. So they have given some points over here. Okay. But the first thing is whether Caro is applicable to this company or not, because as of now, paid up share capital reserves 95 lakhs, which is less than 1 crore. So within 1 crore limit. And their borrowings have exceeded 1 crore at any point of time of the financial year. Caro में वो requirement है. Okay, at any point of time भी अगर exceed हुआ then Caro is applicable. But मेरा question ये है that if the paid up share capital is within 4 crores and if the turnover is within 40 crores, then तो this can be a small company. Forget about borrowings. All right. तो अभी तक frankly बोलूँ that even though this information is given, still अभी तक Caro applicability इसमें हुआ नहीं है. All right. It's a good question. I hope that you are aware that you have to follow an amended definition of small company, which they've already printed in the amendments. During the financial year, a new proceeding was initiated against the company for holding Benami property worth rupees 2.5 crores. However, the company is okay. So there is a Benami property point. वो तो Caro में report होता है clause 1 में. But the point is Caro applicable है कि नहीं? The company incurred a cash loss of rupees 39 lakh during the financial year compared to cash profit of rupees 15 lakh in the previous financial year. The total turnover of the company for the financial year, total turnover was rupees 45 crores. So paid up share capital, even though it is within rupees 4 crores, but the turnover is exceeding 40 crores, and hence, first of all, it is not a small company. Yes. Now, obviously, when turnover is exceeding 40 crores, Caro में तो 10 crore का limit है. Borrowings का 1 crore का limit है. अभी तो वो दोनों consider करेंगे. So it has been exceeding. अभी Caro में तो एक भी limit follow नहीं हुआ तो भी that Caro becomes applicable over there. So obviously Caro is applicable over here. Sir, आप ठीक से discussion करो ना boss. This is RTP, alright? So little bit knowledge you already have. मेरा intention है that with shortest possible time I'm able to finish off the whole RTP. I know genuinely the students who are watching RTP are the ones who are done with the syllabus and they want to quickly revise the provisions of the RTP. All right. So I hope that this discussion is enough. However, if you need more detailed discussion, type it in the comments. I will do something with respect to the detailed discussion. Okay, boss. अच्छा लगा. So now Benami property, yes, it will be reported under clause 1 of Caro. If you see it is clause 1E hai, subclause E, but I don't think you will be in a position to remember subclause. Okay, that's okay. Company had incurred cash loss. Even this needs to be reported during the financial year. So current financial year and immediately preceding financial year का cash loss report करना होता है. So this will be reported. During the year, YNS Associates had offered to resign from acting as company's auditor. However, they later decided to postpone the resignation to the following year. At the conclusion of the audit, there was a difference of opinion between two article assistants, Jack and Jill, who were assigned to the engagement concerning disclosing the points mentioned above. Jack was of the opinion that proceeding initiated need not be disclosed since the expert legal team had informed them the case would not withstand the law. However, he insisted that cash loss shall be disclosed. Jill was of the opinion that Caro is not at all applicable to the company and hence nothing needs to be reported. They both approached the firm's partner. Now the partner will say that you please meet me after lunch. All right. And then after lunch you will not find that partner. Chalo, as a senior partner, kindly clarify. So you are the senior partner, come on, you need to feel great over here. So they have given the applicability of Caro. So private limited company, as you can see, paid up share capital, which is neither a holding nor a subsidiary of public company, तो वो तो condition उसमें fulfill था. Paid up share capital, reserves and surplus not exceeding 1 crore. Total borrowings not exceeding rupees 1 crore at any point of time, but it exceeded at some point of time. However, the main game over here was of the turnover. Total revenue, that is turnover plus other income, not exceeding rupees 10 crore. अभी इसका अगर turnover मैं बोलता हूँ आपको, समझो in this question क्या है, paid up share capital and reserves is 95 lakhs. Borrowings at some point of time it went to 105 lakhs. समझो अगर turnover इसमें दे दिया होता 28 crores, then it would have qualified to become a small company. 28 38 ले लो. Then even though these limits are breached, but because it is a small company, Caro applicable नहीं होता. So this is a very good discussion. All right. In the given case though, Leo is a private company and its paid up capital is less than rupees 1 crore as on balance sheet date, it is to be noted that for period so and so the borrowings exceeded 1 crore. Also the turnover of the company was greater than rupees 40 crore, hence Caro is applicable. तो इनको Caro में थोड़ा changes करना पड़ेगा now because small company definition has changed. But ठीक है चलो, I hope you have understood the logic over here. Then Benami property reporting, then cash loss reporting, and then they're talking about resignation of the statutory auditor. But there has been no resignations over here, at least in this clause, nothing needs to be reported. I mean, they will say that there is no such reporting required under this clause. All right, good one. Question number 17. Now, question number 17 अपना एक बहुत ही patent question है. What I will do is I will ensure that I want to keep this video short so that people are able to revise it. So मैं आपको फटाफट briefing दे देता हूँ. Question number 17 के अंदर, when you look at the whole question, you will realize, all right, that the company is not able to pay its creditors. All right, if you look at the aging schedule. Then when you look at more other points, all the ratios of the companies, all right, they are adverse. I mean, the ratios are not that great when you look at the debt equity ratio and stuff. All right, most of the key financial ratios are in red. So obviously company is suffering from material uncertainty over going concern. Now the company has there is no other relevant information concerning above in the notes to accounts. All right, and then the bank is not ready to basically extend the credit. The bank is not ready to give them more credit. All right, so there are lots of indicators of material uncertainty. All right, management does not have major future contracts to boost their revenue. Now the point is that there is no information given about this in the financial statements. So yes, there is a material uncertainty related to going concern. I will not say that the going concern is over because the company is still continuing. All right, it's not like its production is completely halted, but there is a material uncertainty related to going concern. Now, when there is a material uncertainty related to going concern and if disclosures are not given in the financial statements, then in that case we give an adverse opinion. मैंने ये बहुत डिटेल में समझाया है मेरे ऑडिट रिपोर्ट के डिस्कशंस में, आप वहाँ पे भी जाके देख सकते हो. I repeat, when there is a material uncertainty related to going concern and if the disclosures are not given in the financial statements, then it will lead to adverse opinion. If there are incomplete but still logical disclosures given, all right, then it will lead to a qualified opinion. And if they have given proper disclosures, then you will have to highlight this in MUGC paragraph. Now over here, obviously there is a material uncertainty related to going concern. आपका आधा आंसर तो उसमें जाएगा कि अलग अलग इंडिकेटर्स क्या है एंड इसकी वजह से मटेरियल अनसर्टेनिटी हो रही है. Now because of that, obviously management was expected to give the disclosures. सो दे हैव एंटेड द आंसर दैट इट कुड बी आइदर क्वालिफाइड और एडवर्स ओपिनियन, बट अगर आपको फोर्स करते हैं यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट करने के लिए, ऑलराइट, देन यू वुड हैव टू गिव एन एडवर्स ओपिनियन बिकॉज देयर आर नो डिस्क्लोजर्स गिवन ओवर हियर, ऑलराइट। कभी कभी थोड़े दिए होते लेकिन रेलेवेंट दिए होते लेकिन इनकम्प्लीट दिए होते, तो फिर हम लोग क्वालिफाइड पे बात खत्म कर सकते हैं। ओके ये मैंने फटाफट जिस दे दिया आपको। इसका डिटेल डिस्कशन अगर चाहिए, बहुत स्लोली स्लोली चाहिए, तो रिविजन वीडियोस में है, ऑलराइट, वेयर आई एम डिस्कसिंग अबाउट दिस। नेक्स्ट, CA Bharat has been appointed as statutory auditor of Rishabh Limited for financial year 21-22. The company, while preparing financial statements for the year under audit, prepared one additional P&L account. देखो बॉस, शेड्यूल 3 में ऐसा कोई एडिशनल P&L अकाउंट का रिक्वायरमेंट तो नहीं है. So when company is preparing additional P&L account which discusses about some specific items and stuff, and the auditor has not been able to understand this because it was not required by the applicable financial reporting framework, तो इसको हम लोग बोलेंगे सप्लीमेंट्री इंफॉर्मेशन. क्या बोलेंगे बच्चा? सप्लीमेंट्री इंफॉर्मेशन प्रेजेंटेड अलोंग विद द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. सप्लीमेंट्री इंफॉर्मेशन प्रेजेंटेड अलोंग विद द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स. ओके, इन दैट केस ऑडिटर को इवैल्यूएट करना होता है वेदर सप्लीमेंट्री इंफॉर्मेशन लग रहा है एज इफ इट इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. हियर ऑडिटर को नहीं लग रहा है. देन इन दैट केस, एंड ऑब्वियसली नहीं है ना, ऐसा कोई एडिशनल पीरियड थोड़ी होता है स्पेसिफिक आइटम्स को लेके. देन इन दैट केस, if you think that it is not an important integral part of the financial statements, then you're supposed to ask management to present it in such a manner that it does not look like part of audited financial statements. If they are not taking adequate steps, then you will have to write it in the report that this particular part has not been audited by us. All right, so ये पूरा आंसर है supplementary information presented in the along with the financial statements. All right, it's a good one. नेक्स्ट, और जुलाई 21 का क्वेश्चन था, रिपीट किया इधर, बहुत ही रेगुलर डिस्कशन है हमारे लेक्चर्स में इसका. नेक्स्ट, ऑडिट ऑफ कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स. ओके, नाउ ऑडिट ऑफ कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में ये एक क्वेश्चन हो तो ठीक है. सी, यू शुड नॉट बी जस्ट इंटरेस्टेड इन वन क्वेश्चन. यू शुड, आरटीपी इज फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट इफ समथिंग एल्स इज आस्क्ड फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक. ऑलराइट, सो ऑडिट ऑफ सीएफएस में आई रिपीट, मेरा एक 30 मिनट्स का वीडियो है जो रिवीजन वीडियो है, वो देख लो आप. वेदर यू आर माई स्टूडेंट, यू आर नॉट माई स्टूडेंट, एक बार वो वीडियो देख लो, फ्रेश हो जाओगे. उससे पता चल जाएगा ब्रॉडली कितने टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं फॉर ऑडिट ऑफ सीएफएस. द रिवीजन वीडियो इज देयर. ऑलराइट, अब इसके अंदर तो बहुत ही सिंपल डिस्कशन है दैट ऑडिटर इज वरीड कि जितने भी कंपोनेंट्स है जो पार्ट होने चाहिए कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स के, द सब्सिडरीज एंड स्टफ, तो वेदर वो आइडेंटिफाई तो हुआ है ना, कहीं ओमिट तो नहीं हो गए. ऑलराइट, सो फॉर दैट व्हाट आर द प्रोसीजर्स टू बी परफॉर्म्ड. कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट्स देखने हैं जिसका लिस्ट यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. ओवर ईयर, अब इसमें से कोई भी एनी 3 to 4 आप याद रख लो, देन ऑल्सो इट इज फाइन, कोई ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ऑलराइट, इट्स ओके. नाउ लेट अस मूव अहेड. ऑडिट ऑफ बैंक्स. BOT Limited is enjoying cash credit facility sanction from Nariman Point Mumbai branch of KNB Bank of rupees 250 crores. However, for practical considerations, various sublimits have been fixed for the borrower company for operation at Solapur, Pune, and Nashik branches of the same bank. Alright, the manager of the Solapur branch notices that there are no credit transactions in sublimit account being operated at Solapur branch for more than 90 days as on 31st March 2022. तो पहले तो CCOD का पता है ना आपको, बैलेंस शीट डेट पे एनालिसिस होता है. आपको देखना चाहिए ऑडिट ऑफ बैंक्स का वीडियो. ऑलराइट, नाउ देयर आर टू पॉसिबिलिटीज दैट फॉर मोर देन 90 days एज ऑन बैलेंस शीट डेट देयर आर नो क्रेडिट्स, यानी कि कोई क्रेडिट्स ही नहीं है, खाली विड्रॉल्स ही हो रहे हैं. एंड ऐसा हो सकता है दैट फॉर मोर देन 90 days क्रेडिट्स है but credits are not enough to cover the interest charged. नहीं, ड्यूरिंग द ईयर भी ऐसा हो सकता है, बट क्या होता है ड्यूरिंग द ईयर, अगर समझो जून जुलाई में ऐसा कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ है, देन अगस्त सितंबर आते आते अगर वो प्रॉब्लम रिकवर हो गया है, ऑलराइट, देन इन दैट केस टेम्पररी डेफिशिएंसी मान के जाने देते हैं. बट बैलेंस शीट डेट पे तो एनालिसिस प्रॉपर होता है एकदम. ओके, so over here Solapur branch manager notices that there are no credit transactions in the sublimit account. Discuss the approach of CA Muni, statutory branch auditor of Nariman Point branch, Mumbai of KNB Bank. in the matter of asset classification of the above borrower account also discuss considerations for classifying the said account at सोलापुर branch. तो क्या सोलापुर branch में ये account को NPA मान देना चाहिए, because actually एक main loan account के अलग अलग सब limit accounts की है. Alright, now what needs to be done over here? Obviously if there is no further evidence suggesting कि कहीं बैंक लेवल पे क्रेडिट्स हुए हैं, अगर ऐसा कोई एविडेंस नहीं है, then in that case तो यहाँ पे NPA क्लासीफाई करना ही पड़ेगा. But let us see what is the stand taken over here. Alright, in such a case the determination of status of the account as NPA or otherwise should be determined at the limit sanctioning branch with reference to the overall sanction limit drawing power and not by each of the other branches where a sublimit has been fixed. The auditor of the limit sanctioning branch should examine whether it receives particulars of all transactions in the account at sublimit branches and whether status of the account has been determined considering the total position of the operation of the account at all the concerned branches. The standalone matter of no credit transactions for more than 90 days at Solapur branch is irrelevant. Hence, keeping in view, CA Muni should consider this asset in total position of the account at all concerned branches. Regarding sublimited branches, the classification adopted by time limit sanctioning branch should be followed. Hence, the Solapur branch has to follow asset classification made by limit sanctioning branch. मैंने भी आपको आंसर में क्या बोला कि अगर कोई ऐसा एविडेंस है कि भाई ओवरऑल जो लिमिट सैंक्शनिंग ब्रांच थी वहां पे पैसा आ गया है, देन इट इज ओके, ऑलराइट. बट अगर नहीं आया है, then classified as NPA. So basically what let me set it like a rule कि limit sanctioning branch के हिसाब से classification होगा. It will be as per the limit sanctioning branch, all right, and not just the sub limit branch. So it's a very good discussion. I really love this question. Next, audit under fiscal laws. अब इसका टैक्स ऑडिट का मैंने डिटेल्ड गाइडेंस दिया है May 23 अटेम्प्ट के लिए. आई हैव ट्राइड माय बेस्ट टू कवर ऑल फॉर्म 3CD क्लॉजेस इवन दो आई एम एन ऑडिट प्रोफेसर एंड नॉट अ टैक्स प्रोफेसर, ऑलराइट. बट लेट मी बी वेरी क्लियर ओवर हियर. ये ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक को लेकर है. लेट अस से आपको क्लॉज नंबर याद नहीं है कि ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक का रिपोर्टिंग कहाँ होता है फॉर्म 3CD में, फॉरगेट इट. आपको इतना तो पता है ना दैट व्हेन इट कम्स टू ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक, जो अमाउंट रिकवर होता है एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट इंसेंटिव्स एंड स्टफ, देन इन दैट केस जब तक वो अमाउंट सैंक्शन नहीं हो जाता यू कैन नॉट क्लासीफाई इट एज रिसीवेबल. पर अगर अप्रूव हो चुका है, इट्स नॉट लाइक जस्ट आप एलिजिबल हो स्कीम के लिए, अप्रूव हो चुका है, अप्रूव हो चुका है, एलिजिबल हो आप और अप्रूव भी हो चुका है, देन इन दैट केस तो यू हैव टू क्रेडिट इट इन द P&L अकाउंट ना. ऑलराइट, सो एवरीवन ओवर हियर, it was noticed okay, the financial statements of the company show amount of rupees 4 crore credited in the statement of P&L on the account of duty drawback. तो उसके लिए क्या क्या ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स होनी चाहिए, तो द बेसिक पॉइंट है. लेकिन यहाँ पे देखो, it was noticed that amount of rupees 5 lakh of duty drawback pertaining to few export shipments has not been credited in the statement of P&L. The above noted amount was admitted by customs authorities in the month of March 22. Admitted by them, so sanctioning approval मिल गया in March 22. However, it was electronically transferred in the next financial year, but still the right to receive was established, so you can record it in the P&L. यार accrual basis of accounting होता है इसके अंदर. So clause 16B है इसका, मुझे पता है, but I'm talking about you, शायद आपको याद ना हो. It's okay. पूछा क्या आपको? Audit procedures पूछा. दूसरा पूछा क्या आपको? Accounting के बारे में पूछा. All right. कंपनी हैज टू मेंटेन अकाउंट्स ऑन अक्रूवल बेसिस करके उन्होंने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है. इतना ही पूछा ना. क्लॉज नंबर का आपको पूछा, नहीं आया, 1 मार्क गया, दैट्स ओके. इफ यू लूज 1 मार्क ओवर हियर, दैट्स फाइन, बट यू शुड बी एबल टू प्रेजेंट योर नॉलेज, and knowledge you will get by conceptual understanding of the provisions over there. So if you are still not comfortable with tax audit, please ensure that at least you are covering module illustration questions and test knowledge question. ये उसमें से ही था. All right, okay. Audit of PSU, this is a very very basic question that पहले तो आपको प्रूव करना है कि ये कंपनी गवर्नमेंट कंपनी है. ऑलराइट, तो होनली ओन्ड थी, मॉड्यूल क्वेश्चन है, फटाफट बोलता हूँ. होनली ओन्ड थी बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट हुआ 40% का, फिर भी 60% तो गवर्नमेंट होल्ड कर रहा है. ऑलराइट, देन इन दैट केस ऑब्वियसली इट इज अ गवर्नमेंट कंपनी. ओके, द शेयर्स आर आल्सो लिस्टेड ऑन BSE एंड स्टफ, दैट इज फाइन. अब मैनेजमेंट बोल रहा है दैट बिकॉज 40% डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट हो गया है, द कंपनी हैज अज्यूम्ड प्राइवेट कैरेक्टर एंड CAG शुड नॉट इंटरफियर इन इट. ऑब्वियसली CAG विल इंटरफियर, दिस इज अ गवर्नमेंट कंपनी. एंड जब CAG के इंटरफियरेंस की बात करते हैं तो अंडर कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 वी हैव सेक्शन 143, सबसेक्शन 5, सबसेक्शन 6 एंड सबसेक्शन 7 ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट 2013, ऑलराइट, विच टॉक्स अबाउट पावर्स ऑफ CAG. तो बस वही यहाँ पे रिप्रेजेंट किया है, दैट्स इट. ऑलराइट, So that is the flow of the answer. It's a very simple answer. That is why I'm not going into great details over here. Question number 22. बेस्ड ऑन, पहले तो ना लास्ट 2-3 लाइन देख लेने का आइडिया आ जाता है क्वेश्चन का. आइडेंटिफाई एक्टिविटी बीइंग परफॉर्म बाय सी ए संजना. ओ, तो देखना पड़ेगा क्या एक्टिविटी है. सी ए संजना is acting as credit manager in branch of DFC Bank Limited. Company has approached the branch for a request to sanction credit facilities worth rupees 10 crores for meeting usual business requirements. It is a prospective new client. She checks past history of the company, background of promoters and directors, shareholding pattern and nature of business, assessment of financial results of the past years, future projections. She carries out SWOT analysis. Oh भाई, पूरा ड्यू डिलीजेंस हो रहा है ये. When you are assessing someone's credit worthiness, whether to invest in that person or not, there's a whole due diligence activity. Would your answer be due diligence activity? You can find it in the answer. Would your answer be different if this activity was to be performed by a person not qualified as chartered accountant? Can a non-CA perform such activity? Obviously, yes. There is no problem over there. Name any 3 areas to be covered. Are areas to be covered? Operational area, finance area, tax area. All areas will be covered by this due diligence activity. All right. जो आता है बिजनेस के बारे में ठोको. This corporate restructuring, venture capital financing, public offering, investments, valuation, Shark Tank India. Okay. And in that also, for every business, they will look after different areas. Peer review and quality review. This is one of the wonderful questions. All right. ये क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छा है. ये क्वेश्चन पहली बात तो ज़्यादा एक्साइटमेंट होना क्वालिटी रिव्यू से, पीयर रिव्यू से नहीं है. Peer review, full amended video, everything is there on my YouTube channel. I'm expecting a question from that. Obviously, I think every professor is expecting a question from that. Every student is expecting a question from that. तो वो जरा एक बार देख लेना. ये क्वालिटी रिव्यू का क्वेश्चन है. अब ये क्वेश्चन का मैं पहले तो आपको जिस्ट बताता हूँ. That boss, let us say if you are conducting audit of X Limited, which is a listed entity. ABC firm is conducting audit of X Limited, which is a listed entity. अब एज पर सेक्शन 132 ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 रेड विथ एनएफआरए रूल्स, जो लिस्टेड एंटिटी का ऑडिटर है वो एनएफआरए के जुरिसडिक्शन में आ जाता है. द ऑडिटर ऑफ लिस्टेड एंटिटी इज कवर्ड बाय एनएफआरए जुरिसडिक्शन. यानी कि ये ऑडिटर का क्वालिटी कैसा है उसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन प्राइमरीली एनएफआरए करता है. क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड कर सकता है प्रोवाइडेड एनएफआरए अगर उनको रेफर करे. So X Limited listed entity can be reviewed by quality review board only if NFRA refers to quality review board. Otherwise, quality review board cannot check the quality of the audit of ABC firm, audit of X Limited, which is conducted by ABC firm. हाँ, ABC firm ने सपोज कोई दूसरा एक इंटरनल ऑडिट किया है, दूसरा Y प्राइवेट लिमिटेड का, वो पीयर रिव्यू में वो चेक करते हैं वो लोग. करें तो क्या इंटरनल ऑडिट ऑफ वाई प्राइवेट लिमिटेड क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड चेक कर सकता है? क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड सिर्फ स्टैट ऑडिट पे फोकस्ड है, इंटरनल ऑडिट पे नहीं है. तो ये पीयर रिव्यू के अंदर आ जाता है. समझो एबीसी फर्म ने एक और असाइनमेंट किया है, स्टैट ऑडिट ऑफ एक्स लिमिटेड विच इज अनलिस्टेड एंटिटी एंड एनएफआरए जुरिसडिक्शन में कवर्ड भी नहीं है. तो क्या क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड एबीसी फर्म को उठाकर ये असाइनमेंट चेक कर सकता है? द आंसर इज यस. लेकिन क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड एबीसी फर्म को उठाकर ये लिस्टेड एंटिटी वाला असाइनमेंट चेक नहीं कर पाएगा. क्यों? बिकॉज एनएफआरए जुरिसडिक्शन में कवर्ड है ये. ओनली एंड ओनली इफ एनएफआरए रेफर्स दिस पर्टिकुलर कंपनीज ऑडिट क्वालिटी टू क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड, तो ही क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड चेक कर पाएगा. मतलब फ्लो चार्ट कैसे बनता है? सो इफ क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड selects audit firm under review, अफूर यानी जो ऑडिट फर्म अंडर रिव्यू, वो जितने भी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हैं जो स्टैट ऑडिट कर रहे हैं उसमें से किसी को भी सिलेक्ट कर सकता है. दैट इज फाइन. बट आफ्टर दैट वो क्या करते हैं? क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड ऑल्सो सिलेक्ट्स द फाइल्स टू बी रिव्यूड. ये जो फाइल्स टू बी रिव्यूड होती है ना, उसमें चेक करना पड़ता है वेदर दैट कंपनी इज अंडर एनएफआरए जुरिसडिक्शन और नॉट. NFRA jurisdiction, yes. NFRA jurisdiction, NFRA jurisdiction, no. अगर NFRA jurisdiction yes है, यानी कि वो कंपनी जो फाइल वो रिव्यू करने वाले वो NFRA jurisdiction में कवर होती है, then it is done first by NFRA. NFRA has the power over it. However, if NFRA refers it to QRB, then QRB can take it. All right. So it is done by NFRA unless NFRA refers to QRB. ये धीरे धीरे मैंने ये सब कुछ NFRA जुरिस्डिक्शन में समझाया हुआ है एंड क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड के वीडियो में भी समझाया हुआ है. चलो आपको चाहिए तो क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड का वीडियो अनलॉक कर दूंगा मैं. B21 कोर्स देखना, B21 फ्रॉम माय ऐप, उसके अंदर अनलॉक कर देता हूँ क्वालिटी रिव्यू का वीडियो. लेकिन समझो जो फाइल्स वो लोग रिव्यू करने वाले हो NFRA जुरिस्डिक्शन में कवर नहीं होती है, देन क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड कैन रिव्यू इट, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? यस सर. ऑलराइट. सो एवरीवन ओवर हियर, इसका मतलब ये पूरे क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने के लिए यू शुड बी वेरी मच अवेयर अबाउट NFRA जुरिस्डिक्शन. और यहाँ पे NFRA जुरिस्डिक्शन एक्सप्लेन किया है पूरा ABCDE. माय फ्रेंड्स, आप मेरा ऐप डाउनलोड करो, उसमें B21 कोर्स में जाओ, स्टोर सेक्शन में जाके B21 कोर्स में जाओ. NFRA का वीडियो मैंने अनलॉक किया हुआ है. ये अराउंड 10 मिनट्स का डिस्कशन है, 10-15 मिनट्स का डिस्कशन, प्रॉपरली वो देख लो. और दूसरा भी NFRA के डिस्कशंस देख लो आप. ऑलराइट, प्लीज एंश्योर दैट यू डू इट. सो एवरीवन ओवर हियर, दैट इज हाउ यू कैन सॉल्व इट. अब यहाँ पे देखो अलग अलग पूरा डिटेल्स दिया हुआ है. सो आफ्टर सॉल्विंग आपको पता चलेगा, ऑलराइट, कि भाई ये जो कंपनी है AAZ लिमिटेड जो अनलिस्टेड है, ऑलराइट, जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में है, दैट इज फाइन. पेड अप शेयर कैपिटल 200 करोड़ है, टर्नओवर 800 करोड़ है, आउटस्टैंडिंग लोन्स एंड डिपॉजिट्स 200 करोड़ है. ऑलराइट, तो इसको वो लोग टच कर सकते हैं, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. लुक एट दिस एवरीवन ओवर हियर, बिकॉज लिस्टेड NFRA में आ जाता है. अनलिस्टेड पब्लिक कंपनी जिसका पेड अप कैपिटल 500 करोड़ और मोर हो, टर्नओवर 1000 करोड़ और मोर हो, और इन एग्रीगेट लोन्स, डिबेंचर्स, डिपॉजिट्स वगैरह 500 करोड़ और मोर हो, तो वो भी आ जाता है. तो इसमें अगर आप देखोगे तो ये एकदम परफेक्ट बैठ जाता है एंड दिस क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड कैन सिलेक्ट. एंड दैट इज व्हाट यू विल सी इन द आंसर ऑल्सो. बहुत मस्त तरीके से पूरा आंसर एक्सप्लेन किया है. Only the inclusion of the name of auditor of AAZ Limited in the draft panel is proper. All right. Others, it is not proper. So, बहुत ही अच्छा डिस्कशन. आई रियली लव्ड दिस पर्टिकुलर डिस्कशन. एनीवेज, NFRA आने के बाद क्वालिटी रिव्यू बोर्ड का इंपॉर्टेंस कम ही हो गया है. ओके, नाउ कम्स एवरीवन्स फेवरेट, दैट इज प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स चैप्टर. एक ही क्वेश्चन दिया है इसका, बट बहुत ही अच्छा क्वेश्चन है एंड आई एम नॉट हैप्पी विद द आंसर. ऑलराइट, रेगुलेशन 190A में, ऑलराइट, काउंसिल ऑफ द ICAI ने रेजोल्यूशंस पास किए हैं, जिसमें 2 रेजोल्यूशंस है, जनरल रेजोल्यूशन, स्पेसिफिक रेजोल्यूशन. सर ये पर ये किसके कंटेक्स्ट में बोल रहे हो? यस, जनरल रेजोल्यूशन में दे हैव गिवन द लिस्ट ऑफ बिजनेस ऑक्यूपेशन प्रोफेशन, स्पेसिफिक रेजोल्यूशन में दे हैव गिवन लिस्ट ऑफ बिजनेस ऑक्यूपेशन प्रोफेशन अदर देन चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी, अदर देन चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी. बट जनरल रेजोल्यूशन में जो भी लिस्टेड है उसके लिए आपको यू डोंट नीड, नो प्रायर परमिशन इज रिक्वायर्ड फ्रॉम द काउंसिल. सर ये सब कब काम आता है? चलो अब स्टार्टिंग से बोलता हूँ कि यू आर अ प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एंड आप टीचिंग करना चाहते हो. यू आर अ प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, आप एग्रीकल्चरल एक्टिविटी करना चाहते हो. यू आर अ प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एंड आप बुक लिखना चाहते हो. सो बेसिकली यू आर अ प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. इफ यू आर नॉट इन प्रैक्टिस तो आप गोवा में जाके डांस करो, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू आस्क अबाउट दैट. बट इफ यू आर अ प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एंड व्हेन यू वांट टू गेट इनटू सम अदर बिजनेस ऑक्यूपेशन प्रोफेशंस, ऑलराइट, देन इन दैट केस उन्होंने जनरल रेजोल्यूशन में पूरा लिस्ट दिया हुआ है जिसके लिए कोई प्रायर परमिशन की जरूरत नहीं है. बट अगर जनरल रेजोल्यूशन में नहीं आता है देन इन दैट केस यू रिक्वायर प्रायर परमिशन, जो स्पेसिफिक रेजोल्यूशन के अंदर लिखा गया है. नाउ इफ यू एक्चुअली डाउनलोड, और मैं इस वक्त वो सब करके मैं वीडियो का लेंथ एक्सटेंड नहीं कर रहा हूँ, इफ यू एक्चुअली डाउनलोड जनरल रेजोल्यूशन के अंदर जो लिस्ट ऑफ बिजनेस ऑक्यूपेशन प्रोफेशन दिया है तो उसमें लिखा है नो प्रायर परमिशन इज रिक्वायर्ड इन इंडिविजुअल केसेस. 14 एक्टिविटीज है टोटल. तो मैं बच्चों को ये नॉर्मली एक्सप्लेन करता था दैट इफ यू वांट टू परफॉर्म मल्टीपल एक्टिविटीज फ्रॉम दिस at once, at the same time, देन ऑब्वियसली आपको प्रायर परमिशन की जरूरत पड़ेगी, तो फिर इंस्टीट्यूट को प्रॉब्लम होता है कि भाई आप सीओपी क्यों होल्ड करके बैठे हो फिर, ऑलराइट. बट ओवर हियर इन दिस केस मिस्टर एस हु इज अ प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, वो वीकेंड्स में इक्विटी रिसर्च करता है, वो तो सीए प्रोफेशन का ही पार्ट है, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम, ऑलराइट. पेपर सेटिंग करता है अकाउंटेंसी सब्जेक्ट का एक स्कूल के लिए. इट इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ सीए प्रोफेशन, सीए प्रैक्टिसिंग सीए इज नॉट सपोज टू डू दिस, बट ये जनरल रेजोल्यूशन में है. अब वो 14 एक्टिविटीज का लिस्ट है, वो तो आपको बायट करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा और डिटेल एक्सप्लेनेशन चाहिए तो आप मेरा प्रोफेशन एथिक्स का रिवीजन वीडियो देख सकते हो. एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटी भी वहां पे इन्वॉल्व है जनरल रेजोल्यूशन में, नो प्रायर परमिशन इज रिक्वायर्ड. बट ये दोनों एक साथ कर रहे हैं बॉस. सो ऑब्वियसली अगर आप बेयर रेगुलेशन देखोगे तो उसमें लिखा है नो प्रायर परमिशन इज रिक्वायर्ड इन इंडिविजुअल केसेस. If you're doing multiple things at once, then obviously prior permission is required. पर मैं अभी वो explanation को officially खारिज करता हूँ, मैं उसे साइड पे जाने देता हूँ. Alright, I am removing that explanation now because इन्होंने बोला है that ये दोनों activities जो ये एक साथ कर रहा है, alright, then in that case it does not make him guilty of professional misconduct. तो मैं तो प्रैक्टिसिंग सीओ के 14 की 14 एक्टिविटीज उसके अंदर जो लिखे वो सारी एक साथ करूंगा, फिर प्रैक्टिस भले 1 घंटा करूं मैं दिन में, ऑलराइट. सो दिस इज लिटिल कॉमिक बट ठीक है, चलो आई विल गो विद दिस पर्टिकुलर इंटरप्रिटेशन बिकॉज ये उन्होंने फर्स्ट टाइम इसका क्वेश्चन दिया है, ऑलराइट. ओके, फर्स्ट टाइम इसको ऐसा टेस्ट किया कि मल्टीपल चीजें एक साथ कर रहा है. देन इफ यू सी आगे क्या हुआ है, दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रैक्टिसिंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हैज सफर्ड हेवी लॉसेस, alright, and because of bad luck, alright, he lost almost all of his wealth and became undischarged insolvent हो गया. After few court hearings he was declared discharged insolvent. तो इंसॉल्वेंट जब आप हो जाते हो, ऑलराइट, अनडिस्चार्ज मींस आपका ऑब्लिगेशन अभी भी बाकी है पे करना. सेक्शन 8 में बहुत अच्छे से सिखाता हूं मैं ये सब ऑफ सी एक्ट 1949. आपका अभी भी पैसा देना बाकी है, अनडिस्चार्ज इंसॉल्वेंट. बट फ्यू हियरिंग्स के बाद आप डिस्चार्ज इंसॉल्वेंट हो जाते हो, यानी यू हैव सेटल्ड, फाइनल सेटलमेंट्स आपके हो चुके हैं, एंड आपको कोर्ट से एक सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए होता है, ऑलराइट, दैट बॉस ये आपका जो भी इंसॉल्वेंसी हुआ इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ बैड लक एंड नॉट बैड इंटेंशन, मिसफॉर्च्यून एंड नॉट मिसकंडक्ट. हाँ, डिस्चार्ज इंसॉल्वेंट मींस कोर्ट अभी आपको जाने देता है, आपके अगेंस्ट लीगल हियरिंग्स नहीं होगा, कुछ ऑर्डर होता है कि आपको किसके के पैसे चुकाने क्या क्या होता है, बट एटलीस्ट कोर्ट ने आपको जाने दिया है अभी, ऑलराइट. एंड आपको कोर्ट से क्लियरेंस सर्टिफिकेट लगता है दैट योर इंसॉल्वेंसी वाज बिकॉज ऑफ बैड लक एंड नॉट बैड इंटेंशन. अगर ये सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाता है तो फिर आप इंस्टीट्यूट के पास रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ मेंबरशिप के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हो, वरना जैसे ही इंसॉल्वेंट हो जाते हो आपका वो लोग मेंबरशिप के रजिस्टर से नाम निकाल देते हैं. After a few court hearings, he was declared discharged insolvent and obtained a certificate from the court stating that his insolvency was caused by misfortune without any misconduct on his part. You are required to comment on the above situation with reference to C Act 1949 and schedules thereto, especially from the point of view of Section 8. So over here, look at this. If he being a discharged insolvent, if you have not obtained from the court a certificate that his insolvency was because of misfortune without any misconduct, if ये certificate जब तक नहीं मिलता, alright, then in that case, आपको वो लोग अपने membership register से नाम बाहर निकाल देते हैं. लेकिन यार यहाँ पे तो और कोई मिसकंडक्ट भी नहीं हुआ है, प्लस ये जो इंसॉल्वेंसी वाला पॉइंट था उसमें भी डिस्चार्ज हो गया है, एंड कोर्ट से सर्टिफिकेट भी आ गया कि इट वाज बिकॉज ऑफ मिसफॉर्च्यून विदाउट एनी मिसकंडक्ट. तो एक्चुअली डिसेबिलिटीज ऑफ मेंबरशिप वाला पॉइंट अट्रैक्ट नहीं होता है. हियर इट मे बी नोटेड दैट द पर्सन हु हैज बीन रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम मेंबरशिप शैल नॉट बी एंटाइटल्ड टू हैव हिज नेम एंटर्ड. In addition, failure on the part of a person to disclose the fact that he suffers from any of the above mentioned disabilities would constitute professional misconduct. The name of the person who is found to have been subject at any point of time to any of the disabilities can be removed from the register of members by the council. In the given case, it is clear that Mr. S was discharged insolvent and he has obtained from the court a certificate stating that his insolvency was caused by misfortune without any misconduct, and hence Mr. S has not violated and he will not be debarred. तो ये बहुत ही डिटेल में मैं पढ़ाता हूँ बच्चों को कि भाई एक तो मिसकंडक्ट हुआ तो आपका सस्पेंशन हो सकता है रजिस्टर ऑफ मेंबर्स में से, पर वो तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था, जनरल रेजोल्यूशन वाली एक्टिविटीज कर रहा था. सेकंड, इंसॉल्वेंसी के केस में डिस्चार्ज इंसॉल्वेंट अगर हो एंड कोर्ट से सर्टिफिकेट बाकी है तो फिर भी आपका नाम निकल सकता है. पर यहाँ से तो कोर्ट से सर्टिफिकेट आ चुका है तो फिर यहाँ पे मिस्टर एस का कोई नाम निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है. क्लियरली कोर्ट से सर्टिफिकेट आ चुका है दैट द इंसॉल्वेंसी वाज बिकॉज ऑफ मिसफॉर्च्यून एंड नॉट एनी मिसकंडक्ट. मेरे को एक बात बताओ, दैट प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स के 2 क्वेश्चन आए, एक तो एमसीक्यू में था एक इधर था. The only indication that they are trying to give is छोटे छोटे पॉइंट्स को मिस आउट मत करो. डोंट मिस आउट ऑन द स्मॉल स्मॉल पॉइंट्स. दैट इज व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू से. ऑलराइट. So please ensure that you are doing all the points of professional ethics and you're not missing out on any discussion. All right. Now they have given few points over here as theory. Categorization of NBFCs carrying out specific activity. My only request is that please watch first 30 minutes, 15-30 minutes of my NBFC video and you will understand this categorization of NBFCs because ये amendment में से है. Alright, so I don't want to just finish it in short. रोल ऑफ द रिस्क मैनेजमेंट कमेटी, ये मेरा ऑडिट कमेटी का वीडियो देख लो आप, डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी दिखा दूंगा मैं क्या कहाँ कहाँ कौन से रिसोर्सेज है, इस पे देख लो आप. रोल ऑफ रिस्क मैनेजमेंट कमेटी, सो इट इज अगेन फ्रॉम सेबी एलओडीआर. क्या रोल होता है इनका? ऑब्वियसली इट इज विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू असेसमेंट ऑफ रिस्क, एरर, फ्रॉड वगैरह कहाँ हो सकते हैं स्टफ. एंड क्वालिटीज ऑफ ऑपरेशनल ऑडिटर, ये तो ऑपरेशन ऑडिटर का काम होता है ऑपरेशंस की इफेक्टिवनेस एफिशिएंसी को टेस्ट करना. तो क्वालिटीज के अंदर ही शुड आस्क हु, व्हाई, व्हाट, हाउ ऑफ एवरीथिंग. ही शुड हैव प्रैक्टिकल थियोरेटिकल नॉलेज. ऑलराइट, तो ये सब चीजें क्वालिटीज के अंदर आ जाएगी, बट बहुत ही बेसिक थियरी आंसर है. मेरा इंटरनल मैनेजमेंट एंड ऑपरेशन ऑडिट का रिवीजन वीडियो देख लोगे तो उसके अंदर भी कवर हो जाएगा. So I have tried my level best to cover it up in 70 minutes or so, this whole RTP, and I have given you the guidance. और जहाँ जहाँ मैंने जो जो चीज़ें बोली उसको अच्छे से कर लेना तो आपका हो जाएगा. All right, all the very best, and I am hoping to see you as a chartered accountant very very soon. Thank you so much.